Welcome back, my lovelies. Welcome back to Ask Mrs. Moore. That's me, here to answer those relationship questions when you don't need the full therapy process, but you do have something that's on your mind. Now, this topic, gosh, this always causes some controversy. What do you do when you don't get on with your partner's family? See, the thing is, you get with somebody and you really like that person and you think, yes, they'll do. They're up to scratch. And you choose to be with that person, but you also get a lot of baggage. And part of that baggage is their family. And sometimes they're not your cup of tea. So we have to learn how to navigate this because in most situations, you can't separate the two as much as you would like. So, this is where it's important to be respectful of your partner's family and your partner's feelings, but also to be able to pop your feelings into the mix and to put some boundaries in place. That's one of my favourite words in therapy and in relationships is boundaries. Having them, putting them in place, keeping them, maintaining them. It's all very, very important, especially where families are concerned, because none of us choose our families, and now you've inherited a whole lot more. So the thing is, you need to try and be honest with your partner, okay, in a way that isn't hurtful. No one needs to be looking down on anyone else, but have a think first. What is it about their family that gets on your nerves? If you're really honest, sometimes it's the fact that the family takes up quite a bit of your partner's time. You might have to think about this. This might be a way of life for them. They might be very close. They might be in and out of each other's lives, knowing each other's news. So you need to think about whether that's a dynamic that's going to work for you, because it may not be one that you can change. It may be that they're just not your people, that you don't have anything in common, that you struggle. The thing is, think about how you can communicate and decide what it is that you're going to be able to do. Not visiting at all, well, that's quite rude actually. Unless they've been particularly rude to you, we all have to deal with the visits to each other's families. So once you've established what it is that's actually annoying, communicate that to your partner and see what their thoughts are. Now, what you could do is say you can look at different social occasions. Maybe you're happy for your partner to go and visit the family on their own for most of the time, but you'll join in for those important social occasions. You could think about inviting them over to your place. That way, you're in more control of the situation. You can control the event, you can control when it is, and generally how long people stay. So, that's always one way of looking at it. It's really hard when you don't get on with your partner's family, but it also is a vital part of understanding the relationship. Because if they get on great with them and they want to maintain contact, this is a difficult, choppy waters to navigate. And, we must observe etiquette, and etiquette is that certain social niceties are expected. So let's recap. Be honest with yourself about what annoys you about them. You're probably not going to be able to separate the situation completely. Find a way of nicely communicating with your partner. Make agreements on what the future looks like, what social occasions you can attend, and what social occasions you're happy for your partner to go and attend on their own, and just see what their thoughts are. The important thing here is communication and boundaries. So you don't have to be ringing them every week. You don't have to be keeping in contact all the time, but you do have to find a way that you can live together and follow those social niceties, because when you do that, it's going to be a real refresh for the relationship that you're in. I hope that helps. Now, if you have a question for Mrs. Moore, then why not drop me an email or send me a direct message? Always happy to hear from you, and you might find your question being asked here on Ask Mrs. Moore. I'll see you next time. Take care, my lovelies. Bye bye.